What's going on, YouTube? R to the double E dash to the ZON coming at you once again. And it's been a little bit over 2 months, or around 2 months, since I last really got with you guys. September 22nd, the day that the pre-orders for the Xbox Series X went live. I believe was the last time I made a video, like a substantial video. You know, I made the quick, minute-long video where I showed off the Series X on launch day when I got it, as far as the box and all that. And then I proceeded to set up. And I've been enjoying it for the last 10 days. It's November 20th today. So, man, let me just say, the Series X is fucking phenomenal. I mean, there's just no way around it. I'm making this video at this time. I mean, I don't know if you guys can even tell what time it is, but it's Friday, and it is 12:02 in the afternoon. Reason I'm not at work is I had to stay out because my sister's fiance contracted COVID. He's doing all right. You know, he's got a little, slight fever, a little bit of a cough, but nothing really serious. But I was with him in very close proximity 2 days ago when we were working on, building some supports for, the bed and the master bedroom, because that bed was starting to fall apart. So we were very close proximity, working, breathing the same air and all that. I think I'm good. I mean, I don't feel anything, but I think I'm good just based on the timeline of events. Because, like I said, we were working together now 3 days ago, because today's Friday. We were working together Tuesday, I believe it was. Wednesday. I'm sorry, Wednesday. We were working together Wednesday. And then Thursday, he felt... No, I'm sorry, it was Tuesday. Okay, yeah. But either way, we were working together Tuesday. He was fine. He had a little bit of a cold, but he was fine. The next morning at his job, he tested, and he tested negative. So he did not have it, according to that test result, when he was with me. The very next day, he was feeling sick. He tested at work, which was yesterday, and he was positive. So based on the timeline, I don't think I have it, but, we got to be precautious and, do everything we're supposed to do. I would hate to have it and then give it to somebody who might have underlying conditions. If I get it, if I test positive, I get my results tomorrow. I tested this morning. If I get my results and I test positive, chances are I'm just going to isolate for 2 weeks and experience no symptoms at all, or maybe, flu-like symptoms, and then just get on with my life, But somebody who has underlying conditions, it can be a real problem for them. So I would hate to have that on my conscience. So I let my job know immediately, hey, listen, I got to go test. Really sucks, too, that I just started a new position on my job. But, it's something that's uncontrollable. So in any event, that's why I'm here. But I figured I'd make this video because I wanted to give my impressions on the Xbox Series X, my experience with it up until this point, games I've played, and just my impressions of the overall experience, the overall time I've had with the system. Man, it's funny. I was joking around with my boy Jason through Facebook Messenger last night, as a matter of fact, and he was like, "Yo, how you liking the X?" And I was like, "I'm so fucking spoiled right now. I can't go back. I can't go back. I cannot go back to just simply 1080p." Of course, that's an exaggeration. I game no matter what. But after seeing games in this type of resolution at 60, right now, the highest I've been able to see is 4K 60. I don't have a game yet that can run at 120. I do have the brand new TV. I have the HDMI 2.1K. I have everything I need to be able to game in 4K 120 once that's available. I think Dirt 5 is the only game that really does that now. Assassin's Creed Valhalla might do it. But as of everything else, it's just 4K 60. But just seeing games at 4K, clear, beautiful, vibrant, and 60 frames locked. I've been playing and I haven't seen any frame loss or frame stuttering at all. Just such fluid gameplay. It has blown me away. And a couple of games that I played, for example, day one that I got the system, right? I was doing the setup. It set up so seamlessly. I barely had anything to do with the setup. I turned it on, and it was like there was a conversation going on between my Samsung Galaxy, my Samsung TV, and the Microsoft Xbox Series X. The three of them were talking together. I had nothing to do with the conversation, and it just basically gets set up for you that way. I made the Series X my home console, my home Xbox. I took the Xbox One S, put it in the bedroom, and made sure it was hooked up to the network so that my Series X would be able to, detect it and also detect all my games and all my stuff. Transferring over was a little bit of I don't want to say a headache, but it was a little bit harder not harder, but longer than I thought it would take. But I think that was my fault because at one point in the setup, I asked you if you would like to carry over your settings from a previous Xbox. And I said no instead of yes. The reason I said no is because I took it at its literal word. I took it at its literal word at settings to me. I'm like, fuck it. I'll go and set up my own settings on my own because this system is 4K capable. And I want to make sure I have the settings for 4K resolution, 120 hertz whenever possible, depending on the game. I wanted to set all that up myself. I didn't think settings also constituted games and all that, which I think it might have. And because of that, I didn't. I had to go and basically re-download everything. So the first night, I didn't get to game much. It did pick up immediately all my own games that I paid money for: Stranded Deep, Mortal Kombat 11, Injustice 2, Jedi Fallen Order, Beyond Blue, and whatever else I paid money for. Those games were there, but I had to install them. So I was installing them, and then I was going through my achievements list. And there's two things I noticed when I went through my achievements list. In less than a year, because I got my Xbox One S in December of last year, and we're still in November of 2020. So this piece of shit year. But so it hasn't even technically been a year yet. And in that time, going through my achievements list, I noticed that I played somewhere upwards of 75 to 80 games this past year, thanks to Game Pass. I didn't buy one physical game for my Xbox One S. I only purchased about 9 games throughout the year, and I played upwards of 75. I had achievements there for 75 different games, 75 to 80 different games. I didn't count. I lost count as I was going through it, but it was a shit ton. That shows you how much of a value Game Pass is, and why Xbox, in my estimation, because of that, is infinitely a better console. It's infinitely a more valuable console than PlayStation could hope to be because of that feature alone. But anyways, I went through my achievements list, and those are all games I had played through Game Pass. So I just picked from there which ones I wanted transferred over to my Series X, and I just re-downloaded them, re-downloaded and reinstalled. So that took a while. So the first game that was installed in my system was Beyond Blue. For those of you who don't know, it's a very Endless Ocean-like game, like Endless Ocean from the Wii, my favorite Wii title ever. Scuba diving simulator. Slash, there's a bit of a story and a narrative there. But it's a gorgeous game. It was a gorgeous game on the Xbox One S. To play this game, outputting in 4K, 60 frames, was such a jaw-dropping experience that I literally went through like half the game. Well, I'm sorry, I went through the second because I was a little bit over halfway through the game, through the story, last time I played it. I played through the entire remainder of the story and beat the game. I was just in awe of how crystal clear and smooth the game was running and looking, how vibrant the colors, how incredible the lighting effects. Like, there's parts of that game where you're diving deep into the trenches, so it's basically pitch black, but the flashlight and the lights on your suit and all that reflecting off the environment. Oh my god, dude, it was gorgeous, man. So I played that for about an hour and a half, and played through the remainder of the story. Completed the game, actually. And then by that time, Maneater was done installing. Now, Maneater is the first game I played that had the XS icon at the bottom left corner of the thumbnail for the game, which means that game is enhanced and optimized for Series X and S. So I was like, okay, now I'm going to see some real shit, because Beyond Blue was beautiful, but all that was a beautiful game playing in 4K and at 60 frames. Now Maneater is going to have all these little bells and whistles, better lighting, better frame rate, 4K visuals, everything. It's going to have all the bells and whistles that come with being optimized for this new console. So I put in I load up Maneater. From the first of all, how fast these games load on this console is fucking ridiculous. It's criminal. I feel like I'm stealing. Okay, I feel like I need to be penalized for how fast I'm able to access and play my games. It's so fucking groundbreaking. I cannot put into words the actual value of that. Just like when I first got my Switch back in 2017, and I was trying to tell everybody, and for years after, for the 4 years the Switch has been around, I've been telling people, you still don't understand the bread and butter of the Nintendo Switch is the fact that you can dock it and play it on your TV, which I never do unless I'm playing with my kids or anything. I treat it like a handheld. But the fact that you can do that and take your game on the go at any moment, put it to sleep, pick it up days later, right where you left off. The fact that you can take a console experience portable, it sounds easy to say, and it sounds like, yeah, whatever, okay, cool. But when you get your hands on that experience and you get to experience that on the daily, is where you see how valuable it is. You can't put into words how valuable that really is. Same thing with the Series X loading times. Bro, I mean, in Beyond Blue, when you're getting ready to go on a dive, at the beginning, there's always a little screen where you see the girl, the character, she's there like this, and then you hear the dialogue and you see the text of what she's saying, and she's setting up the mission and the story for this dive. While that's happening, there's a progress bar at the bottom loading. So this is basically a loading screen. And on Xbox One S, I would have to sit there and hear her go through her whole dialogue, and as she was finishing is when the loading bar was basically complete. So you have to sit there and hear the whole thing. In Series X, it got to that screen, she's like this, and as she started talking, by the third word she said, it went zoop, and it was telling me continue if you want to. I could skip all that. It was that fast. And Maneater, bro, the minute I loaded the game up, you saw the splash screen for the publishers and all that, and I was able to like, boom, main menu. Skip all that, main menu. Main menu, select my file. Bro, I'm thinking, I think it took like somewhere between 3 to 5 seconds to load into the game, and I was in the game world playing. Every time you die, respawning takes like 2 or 3 seconds. You know, whereas before it would take upwards of 20, 30 seconds, you know, while the game world reloaded and loaded a checkpoint and all that. This is all seamless, dude. This is all ridiculous. Bro, Mortal Kombat 11, that's another one that's enhanced that I got the free update for optimized for Series X. Bro, that game loads so damn quick. The fights look like from selecting your fighter and going to the tower where you see your opponents, from that place to actual in-game fighting, bro, seconds. 2-3 seconds. You see character, okay, cool, boom. I mean, you see your opponent, select it, fine. You're in the game right there. Fight. That's it. It's buttery smooth, man. It's like so many games that I can tell you this was my experience with them. But yeah, so Maneater loads in, and not only is it ultra quick, bro, the graphics, you could see the bump in the visuals. Like, you could see the jump. So clear. Everything looks so fucking good and so real. Even for a game like Maneater that has that look of realism but also has that fantasy look in it, like it's kind of married, it just looks so clear, so vibrant. The colors are popping. And it's smooth. 60 frames locked. It's just swimming as that shark. Whatever you do, whatever attack, whatever movement you do, the camera's always right there. No stuttering, no screen tearing, no frame rate drops, nothing. It's just amazing, dude. Amazing. So those are the first 2 games I played on day one, while everything else was still installing and downloading. I'm thirsty. So then, guys. So then, next day, I had more stuff available, and I set the Xbox Series X up so that it would go for 6 hours before it would shut off. 6 hours of inactivity before it would shut off. That way, I left it downloading while I was at work, and it downloaded like 6 or 7 games without me having to worry about it. Day 2 was when I tried State of Decay 2. My baby. My favorite Microsoft franchise, bar none. Holy shit. Again, one of those games is optimized for X. Bro. It made the game brand new for me. I jumped right back in, and I was loving this game. The resolution, the graphical jump, the fact that lighting now. I know that we don't. I know we're not seeing like full on ray tracing just yet in these games, because again, these are games that were designed over the last couple of years. They weren't designed with ray tracing in mind. But the improvement of the lighting in these games with optimization for Series X is dramatic, bro. Like, I was fucking flipping out. Draw distance is perpetual. It's infinite. You cannot. There is no like, oh, I can't see that far. You can see clear miles down the road. So a horde of 20 or 30 zombies miles away that my dumbass would have normally stumbled right into because I wouldn't be able to see it until it was too late with the Xbox One S. I can count those motherfuckers from miles away, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going that way, and plan my attack or my strategy another way. The graphics, they're clear. The draw distance is ongoing. Everything, camera movement, every 60 frames locked, 4K. The lighting, bro, like the moon at night, reflecting off the pavement of the street in ways that it just couldn't do on the Xbox One S. reflecting off the hair of your character, rim lighting around the outline of the body of the characters at night, actual light from the moon or from streetlights or whatever reflecting off the eyes of the characters. It made State of Decay 2, which is my favorite Xbox game so far that I've ever played, it made that game so much better. It made it brand new. I started playing it all over again, and I'm enjoying it. Going through a playthrough of not the normal campaign, but I forget the name. Oh, the Heartland, where you get to go back to the area from first State of Decay in State of Decay 2 and see, just all that crazy shit, bro. It is awesome. I've played. What else have I played? Sea of Thieves in 4K 60. Oh my! Again, optimized for X. Oh my God, Sea of Thieves. Right now, what's happening with the Series X? I know a lot of people are like, oh, PlayStation 5's got Spider-Man, Miles Morales, whatever. That's glorified DLC. Have fun paying $70 for that. And what's the other game they have? It's that, and I think Godfall's out right now. I don't know what the second one is. Godfall sucks, so nobody cares. But I think it's Godfall. I'm not sure. Either way, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and the packing game that comes, which is really cool that they added a packing game. Astrobot, whatever. I know it's not that great, but whatever. At least it shows you what the DualSense can do. But, people are like, oh, the PS5 has a must-have exclusive game, while Series X doesn't really have it. And it's like, yes and no. Miles Morales was DLC for Spider-Man, the original, on the PlayStation 4. You do realize that, right? You do realize it's also going to be available on PlayStation 4, period. So you don't need a PlayStation 5, and it's not a PlayStation 5 exclusive to show you what the system can really do. All it does for Miles Morales and for the original Spider-Man and other PS4 games is what the Series X is doing for Xbox games and for third-party games. Optimizing them, bringing them up to 4K 60, 4K 120 in some cases. I'm still waiting for that. But, the experience with the Series X right now, because of Game Pass, it just trumps anything that PlayStation 5's got going on. Plus, unfortunately, what I've been seeing is that PlayStation 5 is having a lot of issues. Rest mode is making the system overheat. There's been crashing issues. There has been, I forgot, there was a power issue where the system shuts off. I forgot exactly what was happening there. But I've seen 3 or 4 different particular bugs already talked about with PlayStation 5 that are happening. I haven't really seen any with Series X. Series X is I'm seeing articles all over the place. The Series X is the console right now that's making the better first impression. So that's all good. But yeah, man, I've just been blown away, man, because like I said, let me just run. Oh, and yesterday I did the download, or the upgrade, I should say, for Mortal Kombat 11, the next gen, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X upgrade. If you have the previous game, if you have the game on the previous console, I have it on Xbox. So it upgraded 4K game period, 4K story, 60 frames locked to see Mortal Kombat 11 in 4K 60 is to nut yourself. Like if you're a fighting game fan and then you're a Mortal Kombat fanatic, to see these characters this vivid, this lifelike, this clear, this smooth, this type of frame rate, again, cannot be put into words the value of this, man. And this is before we even get to the big time Xbox Series X games that are going to be, State of Decay 3, Forza 8, or whatever it is, Halo Infinite, all whatever exclusives are being, the Gunk, and, all these other games that are being worked on. Doom Eternal, that's another one, 4K 60. Jesus Christ! Dude, it's ridiculous. Oh, and Quick Resume. Quick Resume, my dudes. Quick Resume is a godsend. Now, there are cases, and I've heard about it, and I've both experienced it myself also, although rarely, where Quick Resume will not work. And, it won't give you it won't do the Quick Resume option. You'll basically be starting the game over. That happens rarely, but it does happen. And what Microsoft has said is that even if that's not an online game per se, like for example, Sea of Thieves is a strictly online game. Dead by Daylight is a strictly online game, which Dead by Daylight is also optimized for Series X, and it looks beautiful. But those games are online games. You can't quick resume an online game because it's an online, ongoing, evolving environment. You can boot it up real quick and get to the main menu and then do what you want from there, and it loads super fast. But those games will not be able to be quick resumed. But I'm seeing this. I've seen this happen sometimes with. I want to say I saw it happen with Maneater, where one time it didn't quick resume, and I know I left that game running. what we're being told by Microsoft is that the issue seems to be that some of these games, even though they're not strictly online games, have online verification checks that happen, and that's tripping up Quick Resume. They said that's not anything to worry about. In the first patch that they do for the Series X coming within the next week or two, that will be completely ironed out. But I'll say 90%, be honest, like 95% of the time that I've been playing Series X for the last 10 days, Quick Resume has been there. It has worked, and it is a godsend, dude. It takes anywhere from 3 to maybe 6 seconds to, boom, be in the game. So I was playing, what was it? I was playing like 3 or 4 different games. I was playing Maneater. I was playing State of Decay 2. I was playing Forza Horizons 4, which, Jesus Christ, like that game with Series X is just, and what was the other? It was 4 games. It was Forza, Maneater, State of Decay 2, and Star Wars Battlefront 2, which does now EA Play is a part of, which also looks fucking phenomenal with it, and in 4K. It's just ridiculous. I got that EA Play is now available for free with Game Pass, so another reason why. I mean, I got Madden, I think not the newest one, but the one before that Madden. I got NBA Live 19. I got all this shit just downloaded there for free through EA Play, and I was messing around with it. But yeah, so I had those 4 games up and running, and I went from Maneater. I jumped out of that game and I started playing State of Decay 2. I jumped out of State of Decay 2 after about an hour and a half, 2 hours of playing that, and then I jumped into Forza, right? And then after that, I jumped out and I started up Star Wars Battlefront. Now, Battlefront is mostly an online game. You can play single player and all that. I was just playing against bots, just trying to see how the game looked and all that. So I wasn't online. I went from Star Wars Battlefront 2 back to State of Decay 2. That huge open world game, bro, was like 4 seconds. Like it comes up with the State of Decay splash screen when you select it. In the top right, you see top right corner, you see a black little square. It says "Quick Resume" in white letters, and you're in the game, right back where you left off, like nothing. Then I went from after playing that for a little bit, I jumped back from State of Decay 2 to Maneater again. About 4 seconds, maybe, bam, in Maneater, right where I left off. This feature again is another one that I cannot put into words the value of. These are Series X is such a refined system, bro. First of all, the OS is virtually the same as the Xbox One S or Xbox One, which is fine by me. I love that. I love that OS. It's like a customized version of Windows 10 for your console, and I work with Windows 10 every day at work. So I mean, it's buttery smooth, easy to navigate, easy to find what you're looking for. Beautiful looking too. Like I haven't even changed the background yet. I have the same stock background that came with it out of the box because I just like the green and black, and but they're gonna have, if they don't have already, I gotta check. They have dynamic backgrounds, like living, moving backgrounds and shit. So I want to see what's up with that. But the OS is buttery smooth, and all these quality of life features like Quick Resume. Like no loading times basically at all for your games. Like how sleek and how quick it is and responsive it is. These things are all the reasons that make the Series X such a refined console. And this is only the tip of the iceberg because, like I said, we haven't gotten the Series X exclusive games yet. We haven't gotten the next gen Halo yet. We haven't gotten the next gen State of Decay or any of their big franchises. Dude, could you imagine if they do another Sea of Thieves, like a brand new Sea of Thieves with this fucking game, with this system? I'd lose my shit. Jurassic World Evolution doesn't say enhanced for Series X or S, but playing it, that's one of the first screenshots I shared on Xbox Live with the Series X, was a Dilophosaurus in the grassy field, zoomed in looking at it in Jurassic World Evolution, and it's one of the most beautiful screenshots I've ever taken because with the 4K visuals, every blade of grass, every little detail is vividly clear, not smudged out or blurry, not, foggy background. Draw distance is clear as far as the eye can see. It's just beautiful. I mean, the controller, very similar to the original Xbox Xbox One or Xbox One S like I have. Only difference really is the D-pad, which is so much better. This circle disc, and if you can't tell, it's like concave. It caves in. It's so precise for fighting games. I love the design. And the share button right here, which is a godsend because you don't have to press the Xbox button, then capture screenshot or capture recording. And no, just right there. If I press it, it's a screenshot. If I hold it down for like a second or two, it records the clip. for however long I said it, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. The buttons all quality. This gloss finish, this like kind of like, it's not glass obviously, but this glass like feeling finish I've always loved about the Xbox. And then I can't tell if you can see, but you see right there, they added this texture to the triggers. Let me see if I can get it in the light right there. Right there, see it? They added like a texture to the triggers, which just feels so much better. And the back itself, see right here, see this right here? I don't know if you can tell. There's that same texture is here on the back of the controller. So it's flat, matte on the front, and then it's a textured matte on the back. What that does is make the grip so much better. And, you know, for people like me who play for hours on end, your hands get sweaty. The original Xbox One controller, my hands will get really sweaty in the back because it was smooth, matte, just like it is on the front here. But since they added this texture, it reduces the sweat that you have and it keeps your grip strong. So it's just a premium controller, bro. I just love, and like again I said before, I hate PlayStation's symmetrical joystick layout. I like the asymmetrical, which is a lot more comfortable, a lot more natural, and I mean it's just fire, man. The console itself is just a fucking refined experience. Like I said, I'm spoiled. I got my Xbox One S in the bedroom. I have yet to play it. I have it there in case I'm lazy. I don't want to get out of bed. I want to play some games right there. I can just boot up my Xbox One S right there. Or I can go on my phone, go to my Game Pass app, and boot up Game Pass Cloud and play xCloud basically and play games here. Some of them even have touch controls for the phone programmed into it. Or hook up my controller to the phone and play right there. Or even the computer now with remote play. It's just ridiculous, man. Xbox has you covered as a gamer. Like, across the board. But in short, you know, it's already creeping up on almost half an hour of this video. My experience with the Series X has been absolutely phenomenal. It was worth every penny of the $534 I paid for it because $4.99 with tax. I don't know how we ever lived without it, man. As far as a gamer, with all those like quick resume, no loading times, 4K 60. For when the games actually start taking advantage of it, 4K 120 is there and an option. And the combination of my brand new TV and the Xbox together is just, I'm so fucking spoiled right now. Like, I really am. I feel guilty, but I don't give a shit. I love it. I'm having a blast. And my recommendation to anybody who's a gamer, man, I know there's PlayStation fans out there will never buy an Xbox because, console wars and stuff and all that stupid shit. But if you're a gamer and you're about value, you're about having as much gaming as you can for the money that you're paying, Xbox is the way to go, dude. Like, you pay for the console, which is, right now they're both impossible to find because of limited numbers, because of COVID, and, the holidays are coming now. But if you can get your hands on a Series S or a Series X, you do it, you pay the initial price to get in. Once you have it, bro, it's $15 a month. And for everybody, for like new people who have never subscribed to Game Pass, I mean, when I first subscribed last year, it was $1 for my first 3 months. A total of $1 for 3 months of Game Pass. After that, it's $14.99 every month. But for $15, you get access to hundreds and hundreds of games, and new games get added constantly. I mean, it's just, you can't beat it, dude. You can't beat it. So anyways, I'm having a blast. Series X is where it's at, bro. Like I said, I never uploaded that video. What I've learned in this last year with Xbox is that while Nintendo continues to be my favorite company because of their characters and their franchises, my favorite console manufacturer is Microsoft, hands down. The last year has shown me that. They make the best consoles. It's not even comparable. So, I mean, like I said, look at now what's happening. PlayStation 5 launched 2 days after Series X. And it's having, like, reported issues a lot. Like 3 or 4 different kinds of reported issues that are happening all over the place. Where Series X, you don't really hear none of that. You just have people enjoying it. So, yeah, so, like, Nintendo's there. I love them because of the characters and the games. But Nintendo's consoles, in my estimation, suck. I mean, they used to be so great as far as build quality, and back when consoles weren't as advanced as they are now, even when you jumped into the, I don't know if it was a 6 or 7, I don't know, I'm out of numbers now, but when there was a PS3, 360, and Wii, even then, yeah, you had the 360 and the PS3 so much more powerful as far as HD consoles and online gaming and all that, but that was really just starting to, like, take off. So the Wii got away with being limited as far as what it could do, but having a great library. we're in 2020 now, people. I mean, we're about to be in 2021. The Switch is anemic. It is anemic. It is not powerful at all. It is phenomenal because you can take your console experience on the go. But as a home console, it don't cut the mustard, dude, at all. I never play it here in the house, like ever. And if I do, it's handheld, but I don't even do that anymore. I usually just play it for like 15 minutes a day during my break at work, and maybe half an hour during lunch. You know, I'm not. You know, Age of Calamity is coming out now, and I was excited about that. That was a big announcement. It looks like it's gonna be a great game. It's getting about an 80 right now, around, you know, everywhere in reviews. But I don't even care. I'm sure eventually I'll get it, but I'm not rushing out to get it. Jurassic World Evolution just dropped on the Switch, and I was like, yeah, I would love to have that game portable. Fuck it. I mean, eventually I'll get it, but it's like I'm not. There's nothing on the Switch because it's such an underpowered console. There's nothing there that I haven't either already played or that I'm really excited about. You know, it's like my cousin said it best. The Switch is basically it's great to have a portable system, and if you never had a PS3 or a 360, you're getting a bunch of new games. But for those of us who did, it's like we're getting ports of these games, and it's like I'm tired of it. You know, with Series X and PS5, understanding they're slow to start off the ground because of the type of year we're in. But we know they're all going to have great, fantastic, brand new games that take advantage of the hardware. Where it's like Switch, they don't really. So, like, the games don't take advantage of the hardware. You know, like, it's because there's not much hardware there to take advantage of. Let's be real. But yeah, man. So, it's like, yeah, Nintendo, I love them, but their consoles, It's their games and their franchises that I love. Sony, I don't really care for. You know, eventually, I'm sure I'll get a PS5 sometime down the road where they change that horrible, gigantic design and make a slim version and lower the price. And games are out, you know, because I don't really care for Sony. Their exclusives, their exclusives are one-time playthroughs for me. Like even my favorite one, the original Last of Us, I played that game once. It was amazing. But every time I played it after that, it's like I know where everything is. I know where every scary moment's gonna happen. I know where all the beats are. I know everything because they're really like movies. They're great the first time you play through them, and that's it. Whereas Xbox, like their exclusive State of Decay 2, I can play that shit for life. Because every time you play, you're making your own adventure. You know what I'm saying? Just like Breath of the Wild on Switch. There's a story, there's a way to go, but you can go any way you want and just do you. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to an experience that is like great the first time and then that's it, you put it on the shelf. So Sony, I don't really care for. Nintendo, I love their characters and their franchise, but their consoles suck. They're lag behind ridiculously. Xbox, I got the most powerful console in the world right now, sitting right there. I have all the online functionality, all the apps, all the games, Game Pass, you know, and no loading times and quick resume. Nothing else need to be said, man. So, anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, man. You know, and as I continue to enjoy the Series X, you'll hear me talking about it and sharing the experiences I've been having. Those of you who have Xbox One or Series X, my gamer tag is Reasonotics, ReeZonoticz. Add me, and you'll also be able to see on Xbox Live, you know, the screenshots and videos I share and all that. It's awesome, bro. Anyways, God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace.